Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau, Samantha Perry with you on a little bit of an overcast Friday here in Hollandale Beach, a fast main track. The Tapeta is in play, and look at that turf course. It will be in play sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
Yeah.
Everybody has been working so hard on it to see them around. Even on days that we're not here, they're working round the clock. They widened it. It looks good. The new grass looks like it's taking really well.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
It is exciting, and the championship meet is coming sooner rather than later in early December. The stake schedule is out there, though, so a lot to look forward to. We got a good weekend of racing here as well. We got 8 of them today, 11 tomorrow, and 9 on Saturday. That Rainbow Six just getting started again after we paid it off on Saturday. That kicks off 8-race card today, so we've got the horizontals galore, and that Rainbow kicks off in race number 3. I think $11,000 in the carryover. So
Yeah, we had a single on Sunday, too.
Yeah,
It was
it's
both
true.
of our top picks as well, and the horse really didn't fire at all, but you could have done a lot worse than to be single to I think it was a huge class dropper for
Yeah.
Liz Dobles.
I think for 36 or 7,000, so that pool will be a lot higher than that today, 50, 75 range.
Yep.
Get involved, too, because we always say it. These are the types of sequences when it's just starting out, when it's in its infancy.
Yeah.
Good time to take a shot, and you get a price or two, and it's a good time to build the bankroll, too, with the Breeders' Cup coming
Oh,
next week.
yeah, I know. That's what you're working on.
Well, we're not doing that too successfully, but we are.
We're trying.
We're trying. Okay, early pick 5 in race number 1. We'll take a look at my ticket. We're about 54 minutes to the opener here. I've got a $40 ticket, and we'll spread the opener. And then we'll go 2 deep in race number 2. Down inside the 1, how surprising. The big spread on the card is race number 3, and that is my long shot, the 7, Elusive Mischief for Victor Barboza. A single in race number 4 with the 5, Organist. And in race number 5, another 5 for me, Zano on the drop and getting back to the Tapeta, I think is the big deal there. That's a $40 ticket. Let's get into the opener right now. Super, super early in the betting. And right now the 8, Adios Frank, is John Vincent at 1 to 5. Obviously, we've got a lot more shifting and maneuvering around. But I do think he's a player. But both my partner and I, top pick Sky Lane for Terry Pompey.
Yeah, this horse just will improve second time out. And
Absolutely.
yeah, it took a little bit of money on debut, and I remember we talked about Motown a little bit, who is making a nice impression with his offspring so far. Just putting him back in the same spot. Now Lionel Reyes gets aboard. This is a good sign.
Yeah, Motown was a very versatile horse for Tony D. A lot of talent.
Yep.
We'll take a look at a stat for Terry as well. You can see it in your racing form. She's 5 for 15 with second-time starters. This kind of narrows it down and stretches it out a little bit. Second-time starters in dirt sprints here at Gulfstream the past 5 years. She is 28% with a positive ROI. I believe Terry, I think it's 0 for 19 with first-time starters. Don't quote me on that. Point being, the program now has turned a little bit to get them going, and they get going in the second start. Terry's got runners in the first 3 of the first 4 races today, so she could be very, very live. You go to the 5, that magic moment. There's a couple of firsters we'll talk about. This is the first one of them. Sammy Camacho Jr. is going to ride.
Yeah, not a lot of money for a good magic here. These OBS June sales, they don't bring a lot of money. I want to say it's kind of like the outcasts of some of the horses that haven't sold yet. Sometimes you can get a deal, though. This horse is working okay, and I don't think that this is a crazy tough field.
No.
So
I
if he
take
was
that
in for
back.
main special weight, it would be different.
Yeah, that's different. Ivan Pimentel Jr. is going to ride. This was the early print for me.
Yeah.
Adios Frank is the one that's, probably $30 in the win pool right now on him. But this is John Vincent, by the way, and this is a very, very high percentage barn. Does not run a lot of horses. He spots them accordingly. Adios Frank. Just wait and see. Well, Samantha will look at him behind us as well. See what's going on. Any tote action on these kind of firsters are a big positive. Race number 2, early pick 4 time here. We'll go 7 furlongs, $25,000 maiden claimers, 3-year-olds and up, a field of 6 in here. Samantha's got the early pick 4, and we'll take a look at it right now.
Yeah, I do, and a little bit of a spreading early, and I don't have the strongest opinions in these first 2 races, but you see the 3-4 double there. This is my best bet, and long shot singled. So I'm getting a little aggressive here, but I really do like Adios now in the 5th race, and I like Captain Anthony. I know you were against that, or you liked that horse last time. I was against him. I think he's going to circle back here. It's a $8 play, punch it a couple of times, but as you can see, these 2nd and 3rd races, I don't have the strongest conviction about.
Well, let's get into it now. We can show the replay of How Surprising and Magic Who. They ran 2 and 5 last time, and we'll see what's going on here.
Yeah. So How Surprising ran a pretty good race. Belton Brooks won the race. I don't know how that day was Belton Brooks' day.
I thought you were just going to stop with I don't know how that he won the race.
Well, that as well. They finally bet him for the first time in his career, and he showed up, but we haven't seen him since then. Magic Who is doing some work from the back, and Magic Who, that was his first race. And you got to give him a little bit of credit. I think he needed the race. He was a little bit on the heavier side. He was gelded before even running, so you can tell that he needed it. You see How Surprising doing some dirty work there, just shortening up some. I mean, How Surprising really had to work for it, and then won the battle, lost the war here. But you can see the separation between the rest of the field here.
Yeah.
But I think Magic Who can improve.
Well, without a doubt, and it's another Terry Pompey second-time starter. So, and it's in a dirt sprint here. We could have run this stat right back to 28%. So I think there is reason to think Magic Who is going to move forward today. I certainly used him as well. You saw How Surprising had a big recency edge on Magic Who. So I know the gap, we just showed it to you, was a pretty big one at the finish line. I think there's reason to believe they meet in the middle a little bit today.
I think it'll be a much more condensed finish.
Yeah, you've got the 4 in there. I didn't have Chromotion in there. I've used Chromotion in the past, not today though.
First time on the dirt. I like to say when horses try something for the first time, it's usually a solid effort. It's nice little. There's a bullet on the page back in August on the dirt. So this horse has got a little bit of get to him, and he's got some experience.
I think he was my long shot last time.
Yeah,
maybe it was 2 back. So he's been on my radar, and she makes a good point. Listen, California Chrome, on top of this pedigree, and this is not the toughest group we're going to run here. So
exactly.
maybe he can make a little impression here. 2 down, 6 to go. When we come back, it's Rainbow 6 time. We're just getting started here on the pole.
And they're off.
It's tradition. Every year, the stars gather for a spectacle. Stars of the racing world collide
What a sport! What a horse!
to cement their legacy in their quest for greatness. Bear witness as we raise the stakes and shatter the status quo. Watch as the brightest stars in fashion take the stage, and we forge unforgettable memories. Be part of this storied heritage. Revel in performances from the superstars of entertainment, and the unexpected awaits you at every turn. Join us in this unrivaling celebration, where champions ascend and legends are created. This is the Pegasus World Cup, where stars align.
Today, Brian and Samantha just getting started here on the 8-race card. When we left you, we had 2 down. When we come back, we have 6 to go, and that means it's Rainbow 6 time. Take a look at my ticket now. We're just getting started here. I think it was $11,000 in the pool. With 50 to 75 is going to be out there today. It'll be healthy as well. I've got a $32 ticket. I lost my best bet, and we're probably going to be a universal single in race 5 for everybody. We'll go a deep spread here. We already talked about it. Race 4, we've got the single. Race number 5, the top pick is the 5, Zano. Race number 6 is where I lose my best bet. Win 99 was going to be a huge. He might have been even money in that field. Well, he comes out, so now you got to rework things a little bit. I scratch into the 1, Hard to Fathom. In race number 7, we'll go to the 1 again, Lucky Peridot. And then Jose D'Angelo had 2. He's going to scratch Nolita to run Lucky Peridot. I think that's a good sign. 4 deep in a very, what I thought was a tricky finale, Princess Tanko on top for me. And we've got a replay to show you on the comeback from the West Coast. for Rohan. We're seeing a lot of Del Mar horses. We've got Rohan Crichton, Sandino Hernandez, a lot of Del Mar horses coming back to Gulfstream Park and with a little bit of a class edge, I think. Worked for you last week.
It did, yeah. I think maybe out of the 4 or 5, only one worked, but I'm going to keep riding it while I can because I think the form is holding up as a whole.
And I think you got about $13 on that horse, too. Which
That's
was
true. That was, yeah.
surprising. Okay, so we're spreading, right, in race number
Yeah.
3. 6.5 on the main, a fast main track here. These are 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3, and the tag is 62.50. So it's that kind of race, and
Yeah.
somehow in a spread race we have the same 2 on top. This is my long shot. Is Elusive Mischief your long shot?
No.
Okay. Well, talk about it, and I'll pick up what you're putting down.
Yeah. Been trying the turf Tapeta against tougher groups, I think, and only 2 starts on the dirt track. But this guy, he's 8 years old. Okay, so there's a reason that they haven't put him on the dirt
Right.
multiple times before this. But I just think that when you're 8 years old like this, you have a chance to maybe kind of turn things around. Maybe not in a big way. You're not asking much of him. It's claiming 62.50. He's got the back class for it, and he's drawn well, and it's Victor Barboza.
And it's Edwin
And
as
it's
well.
Edwin, yeah.
And we got a bullet there on October 20th that just jumps off the page.
Exactly.
To me.
This horse can travel on the dirt.
And we got 7 other horses in here, too, that, let's just be honest, we're not enamored with. And
Yeah.
I think that's another reason why you hear me talk about it all the time. When we're looking for a long shot, it's not only the horse, it's the other horses as well.
Yeah.
And, okay, Natural Vibes is fine, but, I mean, he was all out to be 2 L's last time, and now he's stepping up.
He is, and I don't honestly think that he's a 6.5 furlong
Yeah.
horse. I think that's kind of pushing him a little too short.
Yeah.
I think he's more of a 7 or 1 mile. But he has won at the 6.5. I'm not going to take that away from him, but he also beat TikTokable, who,
Ugh.
Yeah.
And he got a dream setup
That
last
day,
time, and the runner-up was coming back on him. So I'm a little leery of him on the rise. Another reason why we go price shopping here. I did not use the 1, Alma Shriek, who, I mean, could be inside speed here.
Yes, and this horse has been avoided claim a couple of times.
Yeah.
But I think it's good to see that Leonel Reyes is aboard here today. The Tampa races on the dirt were good, and
Right.
the 6.5 furlongs should just be a very, very cozy spot because I don't necessarily think he's a miler. So
Yeah, and when you have speed in these bottom-level claimers, that's
goes a long way.
It goes a long way because sometimes you just bottom out horses that don't want to run you down anyway. And we say it all the time when we look at the far turn. You say no one's running, and so if you've got speed, it's not a bad spot to be in. We'll kick off the late pick 5 in race number 4. We'll go $170 on the Tapeta. These are 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 races. The tag is 20 down to 16. Samantha's got that ticket. We'll take a look at it now.
yeah, and this is an interesting play for me because it's not a very large spread. We talked about the 4th race already. The 5th race, this is my best bet. The 4, or pardon me, my long shot, Adios Now, which I've also, I'm just going to go ahead and single because I really do like this horse even for a long shot. Race number 6, I've got the 7 on top. I also scratch out a Win 99. That was going to be a single, so I think it kind of reworked a couple things for me. Race 7, the 1 on top, Lucky Peridot, but I also have Miles of Smiles. I know they've been waiting for this horse to go 2 turns, so threw her in there as well. And in the finale, I just got Princess Tanko on top. I really like her today.
Yeah, we're going to show you why with a replay
Yeah.
in a little bit. So let's get into this race number 4 now. You know, I'm not going to tell you it's a match race, but I think if you're using Organist or Captain Anthony, I'd like to think you're going to get through this race. Let's take a look at Organist, right? Who was pretty darn good last time, finally winning.
Yes, yeah, you said it right there. Finally winning. He's had some races where it looks like he should have just galloped on by, and he did this kind of the hard way, I think. Just was behind a wall of horses. He had an uncoupled barn mate there, too, that he just plowed right on by, and he's eligible to do it right back again.
Yeah, Nowitzki is out, by the way. The
Yeah.
7 comes out. Not a lot of huge key scratches. We'll talk about 1 coming up. But certainly Organist, you know, yes, he's facing winners. I get it. But this is the type of field on the rise that he's going to have a really, really good chance
Yeah.
of walloping right back. And he's going to be a very, very short number in here, too. He was odds on last time. He might very well be odds on this time. But Captain Anthony, who I did like last time and who did not run last time, he's back on a drop here, too.
He is, and I don't know what that last race was, to be honest, but we see that sometimes with these Tapeta
Yeah.
horses that they just will cycle in and out. It was an off day for him. He's much, much better than that effort. Much better.
He is, and this is kind of your horse. You just, the coming back now. We've got proven
Yes.
form, and she likes to say it all the time. It's just tough. Sometimes these horses just don't fire, and they come back, and certainly Captain Anthony. I don't know. Jebby's a turf horse, isn't he? He's down the mix here. I know he's 3-1 on the line. I don't know. I don't see him in here. Do you?
Nah, not really. Trying the Tapeta for the first time, we'll see how he takes
Yeah.
to it. But there was a reason he was never on it during the championship meet.
I think that's a very good point. Racket doesn't want to win, but he's loose and controlling, I guess, and sometimes they get brave.
Yeah, they could, and I think it's a good sign that Marcos Meneses is aboard as well. He's got a race 2 back that would win this.
Yeah,
if he
no,
wants
he's
to
got
run it.
races that would win this. That's kind of the problem with Racket. He's a little bit of a head scratcher,
Yeah.
and Leon McCannis does a good job on the Tapeta. But this horse, he does run big. It's just kind of like trying to figure out when and is it going to be good enough, and he just doesn't seem to want to get his picture taken in the afternoon. Late pick 4 time in race number 5. We'll sprint 5.5 on the Tapeta for these $35,000 maiden claimers. These are the 2-year-olds. We'll scratch out the 8 Stellar Dream. I've got a $16 late pick 4. We can show it really quick. It's just a run back, but there it is there. And of course, I'll tweet it as well. The spread is in race number 8. I do think I have Samantha's 2 picks in there, the 1 and the 3. But race number 5, I mean, we'll be able to get a look at them. Samantha will. Behind us, Racing Star, the 3 and the 8 are out of here, excuse me. So we've got the exacta reverse. Adios now for Kathleen O'Connell, and you can talk about him, and we'll show you a stat as well.
Yeah, a horse that he's making his second time start, and this is just really a solid statistic for Kathleen O'Connell. 18% win percentage, a second time starters on the Tapeta. This is just a barn that does much better than it says in the form of the 9% maiden second time starters. He needed the race, and what's cool about him is the horses he was defeated by. You have Full Nelson, who was a maiden special weight dropper and a runaway winner for Sappy Joseph, and then Praiseworthy, who had run against winners before. So I think that in a field like this, this is a good spot for him.
Yeah, and don't be too taken by the fact that Adios now was 18-1 in a 6-horse field, because as Samantha said, Phil Nelson, I think, was 1-5.
Yeah, Full Nelson just completely messed up the whole board.
Exactly. So I think he's eligible to run very, very well in here. Kathleen, another barn that seems to tick upwards a little bit with second-time starters. The 5 Zano, I would think Zano's got to be a big favorite in here. I don't know why he's not. I mean, look at the Tapeta race. Look who he's been running against.
Some solid horses.
Yeah, he was within shouting distance of No Name Mets and Mattingly.
But also on the turf.
On the turf, but the Tapeta race was a very good third as well to prevent. Now we get the MSW drop. We came back last time. They didn't want to risk him for attack.
Yeah.
To me, it kind of says, I know he didn't run last time on the dirt. I get it. But to me, it kind of says, you know what, this was a spot they might have had it all along.
Yeah. You would hope so. They gave him some shots, and you have to. I mean, why not? It's not like he was putting together poor efforts in those maiden special weight efforts. But again, who would you rather bet with your own money? A horse that has run third to Praiseworthy and has already, you would think, is in some top fitness, or the 4 horse who has run 5th to Praiseworthy and can.
No, he's moving up. He's moving up. Yeah, this drop can be a big one. And Zane will be a short price in here as well. Tis a fast bullet down on the inside. Not a bad effort on debut for Leon McCannis.
No, and this isn't a barn that really fires with first-time starters. Took a little bit of nibbles at the betting board. And again, Praiseworthy. You see that horse a lot on all of these races. It's funny. Every race is Praiseworthy is coming out of.
Yeah, I feel like is he in on? Is he in on Sunday?
I don't think so.
Maybe another race that they're coming out of.
Yeah.
Late pick 3 time in race number 6. This is the big scratch on the card. We go a mile in a 16. 3-year-olds are 4 and up, which have never won 3. The tag is 20. Probably the heaviest favorite of the day was going to be Win 99, the 8 horse. Okay, my best bet of the day. He is out. So I think a universal single for everybody is now out, and it really turns this race into a kind of a problem to me, at least. I mean, would you agree?
Completely. I think I could have hit the all ball here.
Well, you hit it with the 7 now.
I
Okay,
did.
so you go, this is the outside horse now. It rose for Raven. Another one, Samantha kind of special, stubbed his toe last time, but the back form to regroup.
Yes, definitely, and not a horse that needs the lead by any means at all. And you look at the horses in this spot here. There's some droppers, and there's some horses that can go to the front. I think the
Right.
2 will be forwardly placed. I like the post position
Yeah.
here. I really tried to make this horse over win 99, so I just a complete different class. But
Yeah.
I think this field now with win 99 out, it makes it a little more of a level playing field.
Well, you had a monster class dropper coming out of all these key races who was going to lay over this field, and now it's a spread deep group that all kind of look a little bit the same on paper. I scratch into the 1, hard to fathom, a lot like your pick. Didn't fire last time, but now we're dropping here, second off the claim for Joe Orsino.
Yeah, and maybe take note of how Captain Anthony runs a
Right.
little bit earlier
Good point.
in the 4th race, because you can maybe vet out how he's going to do.
Yeah, Performing Arts was favored on the morning line. Maybe he'll go favored now. I don't know, he's a turf horse. He has run okay on Tapeta. I think the big deal here is Carlos David.
Huge deal.
Right.
It's Carlos David, but he only has 1 work leading into this race, which I find weird after being off for
Yeah.
10 months, 11 months almost. So I don't know, and I'm not going to say that I know what goes on with that.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing that's going on. They didn't claim this horse in December to run back in October.
Exactly, yeah. So something went awry, had some issues. Now he's back. I'm not going to dismiss him because this
No.
is a very, very sharp barn. And I like on the
Absolutely.
Tapeta, whenever you're 5 years old, I don't think you have to be in the most fit top of your fitness level in order. The Tapeta can kind of carry you sometimes.
You can talk about it more than me as a horsewoman, but I couldn't agree with you more. And this is not a speed horse, and I feel like comeback horses that aren't speed horses have a little bit of an edge.
Yeah.
Because, they don't need their fastball necessarily first
no,
out.
they don't. And if somebody falls apart on
Right.
the front end, then could be a horse picking it up late.
Exactly. Late double time in race number 7. We'll go 1.70 miles on the Tapeta. These are the state breds here. These are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. The scratch of the 4, Nalita, is interesting twofold because she was a player off the claim for Jose D'Angelo, but he also has the 1, Lucky Peridot. I have that one on top, always did. Did you as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So, it's the old why run 2 when you only need 1.
Exactly, and I think it kind of makes our job a little bit
Yeah.
easier, right? Because it went from me including both of them in the horizontal
Agreed.
tickets, then to just go with this one, the Gold Square, you vowed Gold.
Yep.
He had Cyberknife. These are connections that have some nice horses, and they don't claim a lot either. This barn doesn't, or not barn, ownership
Owners,
group.
yeah, Gold Square, yeah, good
Square.
point.
So
Yep.
this is a good sign here.
And this is a crafty move by Jose D'Angelo, too. He's 24%. We talk about this all the time. Guys like Safi, guys like Jose. They're high percentage for a lot of different reasons, and one of them is the ability to read the condition book. What does he do? He claims this horse for 25 from Peter Walder, and Peter does such a good – Peter, I could lump him in this conversation as
Yeah.
well. And what does he do now? We're going to run for 20 against state breds.
Breds. That's huge.
It's huge.
Yep.
It's a big deal. So I think this horse is in a good spot. You're going to try to split my exact. Okay, I understand the connections have been telling us David wants to run miles of smiles, 2 turns. I get it, but I don't know. I just underneath to me.
Yeah, and that's fine, and I think she could blow us away and we wouldn't be shocked at all. I'm using her for sure. I'm not going to say I'm running to the windows on her, and maybe a little bit here. I think the 2 turns just makes a really big difference for her. The 2 turns on the turf effort, just don't even pay attention to that race because it just is a complete toss out here. She was flying at the end when she got back with fillies and state breds last time after running against the boys and open company on the dirt track. So
No, I get all of it, but this race is out there quite a bit. She's running 5 straight sprints, so we'll see. She is supposed to run on. She's 1 for 15. She's got eight slices. Certainly the 10 Crystal Coast for Carlos is going to be tough.
I don't know what to do with her.
Yeah, I agree. Not an ideal post, but a lot like the horses you picked a couple times today. Didn't fire last time, ran off the screen 2 back. maybe we cycle back around. The finale's the finale is difficult. I feel so at least, and we're going to go a mile and 16 on the Tapeta. These are $25,000 maiden claimers here. We've got a field of 9. Princess Tanko, do you have her on top?
Yes.
Okay, let's show the replay, and then you can talk about her too.
Yes, so coming out of a 2-turn Del Mar race, she was bet in her first race here at Del Mar whenever she first shipped down there, and then the next time she didn't. But she actually ran really well in this spot here. These are horses, although they are maidens, they're not the easiest groups there.
Right.
And this is a taxing effort going the 2 turns. She had never done that before going to Del Mar. She was just at the 1 turn, 1 mile, and 7 furlong distance. So I think that being on the Tapeta for the first time in the 2 turns, we know she's fit for it. And this is a softer class, I think.
With the exception of Win 99, this was the easiest pick I think I made on the card, because it's Rohan facing the Del Mar horses so much better. And who else are you playing in here? I mean, that's the other thing too. I mean, we've seen some of these horses. One Smoke and Rita, I mean, stuck in neutral. Now we're stretching out. Obviously, OK Fine is bringing some class here off some Kentucky form and Gulfstream maiden special weight races. Makes sense, but has never run on the Tapeta either. And now we're, away from Brian Lynch.
Yeah, and Brian Lynch, his barn has been going really well this year. And yeah, we saw this race in February, and I remember Brian was just, he's honest about what he thinks of his horses, and he just thought it was so-so, and he gave her a lot of chances. She's a heavy horse. Yeah. She really is. When you see her, she's kind of built like a tank, just a sizable empire maker offspring. I don't know about the Tapeta with her, and yeah, we'll see.
She was 84 cents on the dollar at Ellis.
And she couldn't get it done.
That just leaves another reason why I think, we both picked the same horse here, trying to split my exacta with the 2 Great Princess.
Just one of those that is knocking on the door. Yep. Today could be the day, maybe.
Could be the day.
Yeah.
I mean, she does have solid Tapeta form, and she is in against 2 horses, albeit 2 strong favorites that have never tried it.
Exactly.
So we'll see. Rohan Crichton, a guy I just kind of feel, especially bringing horses back from Del Mar, Rohan, a high percentage guy. He's going to get rolling pretty soon.
Yeah. He started last week.
He did, and I think the wins might come in bunches. So just kind of take note of that as we're going forward here. That's 8 down on the Friday card here. Before we leave you, though, we'll take a look at the lightning round, and as we always do, we've got some standings to kick it off, right? Do we?
Yes. Well, we
Doesn't
do
say
not.
it there.
I does not know. We have more exciting things.
I promise you, though. I promise you. The one thing I will tell you that's truthful today, Edgar Zayas is comfortably leading the jockey standings.
Yes, that's for sure. We'll show standings tomorrow. We're going to talk about the Classic, though.
Okay.
Because they did the pre-entries for the Breeders' Cup next weekend at our sister track, Santa Anita. Arcangelo, he put in his final breeze, and it was a sharp one.
Did you watch it? You liked it?
Yeah.
You're the expert.
Well, yeah, try to be. It was not like he worked going into the Travers.
Okay.
I mean, they really, you could see the rider here just
You set him
driving
down,
on
right?
him. Yeah, he put him down in the drive, and it was a sharp work. This horse, he makes it look very easy, and it was kind of a little bit of an opposite work going into the Travers, and the Travers worked in its start until about when we stopped that video just now. And it's been an interesting kind of pattern since getting down there, but he looks like he gets across the track well, and I think we're both looking forward to next weekend.
Absolutely. We'll have some stuff, Samantha and I will film it next week, our Breeders' Cup thoughts and things like that. Jenna Antonucci's done such a good job with him, and the plan always was Travers right to the Breeders' Cup, and we'll see it next Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be exciting.
Mage on the comeback trail. White Abario, our old buddy, is in there as well. It's a fun, you and I were texting about it yesterday. It's a fun classic, wide open Breeders' Cup, kind of a lot of races wide open. We got that wagering guide is out there as well, which is a tremendous piece of material that the whole crew put together, and we'll talk about that too. I got no best bet today. Win 99 came out. What do you got?
Captain Anthony
Okay.
today.
All
yeah.
right.
We'll
I
see.
like it. What's your long shot? Because you have my long shot, but you said that's not him.
I have it on top.
Right, right. But
Yeah,
that's not
that's
your
not him. It's
actual launch
Adios now in race 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like it. Well, mine is
Yeah.
in race 3. That's the 7, Elusive Mischief, who Samantha is got on top as well. And last but not least, what's going on there?
Well, it's Halloween time, and we've got see it around
You
us
see it
here.
around us already.
On tomorrow from 6:30 to 9:30, we've got Headless Horseman, Sleepy Hollow Halloween party extravaganza here in the paddock. Candy stations, food trucks. It'll be a lot of fun here.
You were not here for it last year.
I was not,
It
no.
it is a scene.
Yeah.
I will
I've seen photos. It
tell you
gets
that.
packed behind us.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It is a scene, so come on out here. The weather looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of stuff going on for the kids as well, and the village here. So it's a lot of fun here on a Halloween Saturday. We got 11 races for you. Look at this. The boys are
Oh,
just
they're
tremendous.
they're on it.
Absolutely. I told you, right? Edgard.
Yeah.
What a pace he's setting.
Yeah. Oh, he's just absolutely demolishing
Yeah.
the group behind him. But these guys, we always talk about it every single week. We've got a very good podium here, and they all put their best foot forward when they're riding.
The depth of, certainly you think of the championship meet, and we all like to look forward to that, but I don't think you can lose sight of, the guys that are here day in, day out, trainers, jockeys, owners that are supporting us year round. And this is a darn good colony we have here. And look at this battle now. Victor Barboza is up there as well. 20-19 as Safi and Jose are, Victor's setting a heck of a pace. The numbers game is going to catch up with him a little bit. But this is a battle right now.
It is, and we'll for sure be down to the wire as this Sunshine meet starts to close out and we get ready for the championship meet. But it's been exciting thus far. And
Kathleen O'Connell's got a chance for you today. Joe Orsino didn't get a win with Mattingly, but he ran so well behind Ben Tornado. 91 buyer, by the way, for Ben Tornado.
That was very big. And also Joe Orsino unleashed a really solid first-timer for DJ Stables.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, good call there.
Maximum
Really
Mischief.
impressive.
Yeah.
So, hey, it's all going on here. We hope to see you out here. 8 of them today. Big weekend, 11 tomorrow. Rainbow in race 3. Pete Aiello upstairs with your scratches and changes.